A third straight loss for the Padres tonight in Game 1 in St. Louis as Darvish's struggles were on display tonight. His ERA is over 9 now in 4 starts. And what does Darvish mean for the rest of this rotation and AJ Preller with the upcoming trade deadline? So make your way in. Year-round content for Padres fans. We'll react to it all. A 9-7 loss to St. Louis in Game 1 of this series. We need you to subscribe to this channel. We need to get to 9,000 subscribers by the trade deadline. That's how you get what you want if you're a Padres fan. So please subscribe to this channel. Smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We will get your super chats. We appreciate your support of this channel. We really do. So click that $ below the chat box if you want to see your comment on screen. If you want to control the direction of the conversation. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button down below. Padres actually led in this game 2-0. In the top of the first inning, it looked encouraging momentarily, and then Darvish was absolutely rocked. A pair of 3-run home runs, struggling during a brief outing in the end, and you just wonder what's on the other side now for Darvish as the Padres come back, but they lose 9-7. Offense comes to life, but at the end, they lose the game 9-7, and the Padres, Jim, have lost 3 straight with the trade deadline now inside of 7 days.
If I told you tonight the top 4 in their lineup of Tatis, Arise, Machado, and Merrill would all combined for 10 hits and 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, like they win this game going away. It wasn't the case tonight. I can't remember a time this year where all 4 of the top 4 in their lineup, like the guys that we've talked about a lot this year, Tatis, Arise, Manny, Merrill, all do like what they did tonight in a game at the same time. It's almost like it's like a basketball game, or even like a quarterback has like 4 touchdown passes, throws for 350 yards, no turnovers. The offense scores 35 points, but the defense gives up 42. Yeah. Like in basketball, like LeBron has a 35-point triple-double, yet they lose the game, 125, 115.
That's why listen, there's a lot to react to, but at the end of the day, I'm going back to something we just said with Darnay doing his On Fryer podcast. And I'm with you. I think ultimately there's a very good chance Dylan Cease is moved, but I'm thinking long and hard if I'm AJ Preller. And it's not because Dylan Cease has had a good year, but it's because Darvish has had an awful year and Michael King is hurt.
Yeah.
So, somebody's got to pitch. And if Darvish is not Darvish, and he's not right now, and if we don't know what King looks like, don't you kind of need Dylan Cease to at least give you his, average year to get you through the season? I could make that argument. Listen, I get the idea of trading Dylan Cease. I really do, but I don't know if I get keeping Darvish in a rotation with a 9 ERA and also counting on him to stay healthy. And I don't know what the deal with Michael King is. So, they have some real questions with this rotation. And hopefully Nick Pivetta tomorrow is their stopper. I think he's won 8 times this year off a loss for the Padres, which is incredible. They absolutely need Nick Pivetta to look like Nick Pivetta tomorrow, because there's it's very concerning right now with Darvish and King and what's going to happen with Cease and the impact here moving forward.
The one thing I will say about tonight, Sonny Gray had a sub-3 ERA at home coming into tonight. He gave up 7 runs.
He did
a couple homers, and he's been pitching great at home. If Sonny Gray went out there tonight and shoved and went, 6 innings, allowed 3 hits and, 1 earned run, okay, yeah. But I do think tonight, from the starters, not so much from the relievers, ironically, but just, Sonny Gray and Darvish, like they both didn't have it. And it was like 1,000,000 degrees there. And the humidity was through the roof. I want to say that's a reason why this stuff happened tonight for Darvish, but it's not just a one-off. And you expected tonight to be like a step for him. And it wasn't. It was a step backwards. I understand the thinking long and hard about trading Dylan Cease, because on the other side of that, you got a big question mark with Michael King, and obviously the Darvish question mark, and the only pitcher that you have faith in your rotation right now is Nick Pivetta. So I get that. But there's been too much discussion about how Preller has to get creative here and to make the necessary moves. What are some pieces that he needs to offload? And of the pieces that we're talking about him potentially offloading, the more I think about it, and the more we've talked about it over the last couple days, to me, it would make less sense to trade away Jake Cronenworth instead of Dylan Cease.
Neither are ideal. Back to our creative conversation, maybe.
Exactly.
But like, there's a pretty compelling argument, Jim, and I'm with you. Sonny Gray struggled. You're right, and the temperature, all of it's a factor. But what about just consider this? Yu Darvish is done. Like,
yeah.
What are the chances that that's just a true statement? He's either hurt, which means he's done for now. He's either ineffective. Mike Schilt acknowledged postgame. I went back and watched it. He said his velocity is down, not a ton. He said not as many 6s and 7s, more 2s and 4s. Talking about in the 90s, right? He's throwing 92 to 94. He's not throwing mid-90s. Now, we know he relies heavily on breaking pitches. He throws 6, 7, 8 pitches. He relies heavily on breaking pitches. But 2 3-run home runs in the same inning. He came in with a 6 ERA. We said, well, there's rust. He didn't pitch since last year in October. But let's be honest. Even in a good scenario, Jim, the idea that Yu Darvish looks like he did in the NLDS last year seems crazy wishful, even in an ideal situation. And if that's the case, then you need Michael King. And if you don't have him, then you need, you need something. And that's just the point I'm trying to make here, that I think if King was healthy and if Darvish was some semblance of himself, I'm all for moving Dylan Cease, and I still would completely consider it. But the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, is this smart to put yourself in a situation where you have no starting pitching? Is that a smart decision if you're the organization?
All right, well, then they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. I mean, I is it a smart decision? All right, well, they missed the postseason and they don't trade Dylan Cease. We're back to 2023 vibes with Blake Snell. Now they couldn't
they miss the postseason by trading?
I get
Dylan
it. Like,
Cease?
Yeah, you're damned if you feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You don't do it, you miss the postseason. You missed out on an opportunity to get something back in for Dylan Cease because he's going to leave.
Yeah. Yep.
You trade him, and you get pieces back for Dylan Cease, and you still miss the postseason because your pitching ended up being a huge problem instead of your offense being the main problem.
Yep.
And you're like, shit, why do we trade him?
Right.
It's like you can make arguments for both.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I just think that at the end of the day, and I know I gave a 0% chance Dylan Cease is on this roster come next week after the trade deadline. I just think that if AJ is going to be going all in here, I know the term all in, but if he is trying to maneuver this thing to add some legitimate pieces and he has to subtract somewhere, I think the smoke is too dark of a cloud around Dylan Cease for that not to happen, because I think you could get the most for him at the deadline, and he's also not having a great season. So you're like, oh, we traded away a 5 ERA guy,
Brought in a guy. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you could bring in a guy, like Charlie Morton, but Charlie Morton's year is actually worse than Dylan Cease. Like, I don't know how easy it is to actually do better than Cease in terms of at the deadline by acquiring starting pitching, because that either costs money or assets or both. Let me get to the first super of the night. Thank you guys for the super chat. Subscribe if you're here. We're 56 subscribers from 8,900. Please subscribe if you are here live or on replay. Let's get to 9,000 by the deadline a week from today. We're reacting to a 9-7 loss. We'll get into it. And we're reacting to 3 straight losses in the upcoming trade deadline and the rumors. Manny McNuggets, thank you. Manny says, I'm disappointed in all of you for not tuning into Darnay's show. Now, there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
He's a real one. Just kidding. Love you all, except Talking Friars. I hate that guy. Is this your burner?
Is it his burner?
No, is he your burner? Thank you,
burner?
Manny McNuggets. No. I'm kidding. Jay McG, thank you for the super chat. He says AJ Preller needs to be fired for God's sake. No, I don't agree. I really don't. I mean, if nothing else, you see the season through. I mean, if the season was over, they're in the postseason, but we get it.
Mm-hmm.
The season isn't over. I understand frustration with the team, but I mean, firing AJ Preller does nothing. Let's see what happens at the trade deadline, and then let's see what happens in the second half of the year.
Yeah, fire. Oh, they lost 3 games in a row, and there's
Gotta go.
They got to go. Right, fire.
After 11 years, you got to go.
Yeah.
One day he may have to go. It's probably not today.
One day he'll go. He will not be the GM of the Padres
forever. It's true. And I get it. I get the frustration. I understand it. I mean, he's got work to do to get this team into the postseason this year. Carlos, thank you, man, for the super chat. Good to have you here. He says he's back, and I don't have much to say today. You will. Stick with us for the next 45 minutes or so. You will have some things to say. I mean, this is think about the road trip, Jim. They're 3-4. When they get good pitching, they lose by a run. And when they get offense like tonight, they didn't get the pitching. So, it's just, I mean, and even go back to the homestand. Everyone's, well, they turned the corner, right? 6-4 homestand, 3-1 starts the road trip. Well, not so fast. They're now 9-8 since the start of the homestand. They're 9-8 since the start of the homestand. It goes back to this. They're middling. They're a very average team for a very long period of time. And the evidence keeps taking us down that path. 4 games under 500 since 14-3. So that's who they are. And now it's on AJ Preller to figure out if they can be better than that for the next 59 games. But let's not kid ourselves. No corner was turned. I said corner might have been turned when they were 3-1 on the road trip, and they were 6-4 last week, and they were 9-5. No corner has been turned. They're 9-8 in their last 17 games.
Yeah, they shot out of a cannon to start the season, and then they got stuck in neutral.
Right.
And they can't get the engine to rev it back up again. They're just stuck there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to turn it around. I don't know if they're going to kick it into gear. I don't know, but it does feel like the longer we say that, the less likely it's going to happen, because we could look up and we're like, man, this team, can they get hot? And it's like the end of August. And we're like, all right, you are who you are now, unless they have a magical September run. So the offense still remains the biggest problem, even though tonight they put 7 runs on the board and the pitching let them down. You Darvish mostly, not their bullpen. Well, their bullpen wasn't great either. And by the way,
the bullpen only let a run, right?
No,
they got out of jams.
Oh, they got out of jams. Yeah, they
jams.
Did.
Yeah.
But I know Wandy gave up a home run,
but that was it.
I see this on social, and I've seen this on social media from fans, and I get tagged in it all the time.
Okay.
Why is Yuki Matsui pitching in this moment? Why is Wandy Peralta pitching in this moment? You want to know why those guys are pitching in that moment? Because you can't use Estrada and Morejon and Adam and Suarez every single day, and they're also trailing. Like, you guys, you got to realize there's other pitchers in that bullpen that have to pitch. You can't just use the back 4 guys every single day, And when they're trailing in the game like that, like, guess what? Yuki Matsui is going to pitch. Wandy Peralta is going to pitch. Brian Hoeing is going to pitch, right? Berger. Well, not Ryan Berger, but you get my point. You're going to see the others in the bullpen. You're not going to see the top 4 guys pitching all the time. This is not fancy baseball. It's real life. These guys can't pitch every day.
You're right. And he actually went for it. He then turned to Estrada. By turning to Estrada, he said, I trust my offense. They've gotten back in this game.
Right.
They pulled to within 1 at one point. I mean, they had to think that they scored 7 runs in the manner in which they did, and then they'd never score again. Now they had to face the high leverage arms of St. Louis, so that's a part of it as well. But they turned to Jeremiah Estrada, and he justified it postgame saying, we went for it right there. You can't, of course, you're not going to go to the quote unquote 4 horsemen losing all game. That's literal insanity.
Right.
If it's game 5 of the World Series, do it. It's
100%.
not. Yeah, you can't do it. You have to win tomorrow too. And if you burn through Suarez tonight and he throws 21 pitches and you got a 3-2 lead in the 9th inning tomorrow, and now he's not available. I mean, you have to treat it like there is a tomorrow when there literally is a tomorrow. When you're trailing, you're trailing. That's how this works. Wandy Peralta is going to see the field. Yuki Matsui is going to see the field. I mean, when they're trailing, that's when they're going to be pitching in games.
100%. Yeah.
To Carlos's point, he says, kidding, today was an abomination of the game I love. Darvish was abysmal. Enjoy retirement. I don't think he pitches next year. Yuki is a bum. He sucks, pisses me off. 9 runs is too much, even for this trash offense. Tatis and Manny good today. Oh, he salvaged it with Tatis and Manny.
Right, they're good.
I'm not worried about their secondary relievers, Jim. Are you worried about Yuki Matsui and Wandy Peralta? I'm not.
They're not the least of this team's problems right now. They're not even like a big problem. They're not high leverage relievers. So they're going to be put into games when the team is trailing, and their job is to keep it at whatever it is when they come in the game.
That's exactly right.
Or when the team is trailing by 7-8 runs, their job is to come in, eat up innings, mop up duty. Like that's the job of Yuki Matsui, Wandy Peralta, Brian Hoeing, whoever else is in this bullpen. Those are their 2 jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and they're not going to be perfect every time, but also like make sure this thing doesn't get out of hand, guys. You can maybe give up a run or 2 here and there, but like for the most part, keep it within striking distance.
Which I think tonight, to be honest, they really did do.
They had multiple chances to win this game, the Padres.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, look at this. Go back and look at where they were with Darvish in 3 1/3 innings, allowing 8 runs and 3 home runs. For Yuki Matsui, Wandy Peralta, Jeremiah Estrada, Kyle Hart to combine and go 4 2/3 innings of 1-run baseball. That's as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
4 2/3 innings on a muggy night of 1-run baseball gives your offense a chance to win this game. They didn't finish the deal. I mean, 2 things are true, like to Chucky D's point. Glass half full, they scored 7 runs. They did.
Right.
But then they didn't get over the hump. It's like I said today with Darnay, and I stand by it. I would have preferred they won 2-1. I know we'd be talking about the offense, but guess what? We are anyway tomorrow. And I do like the fact that all the top 4 hitters had an RBI in this game. Multiple home runs from the top of the lineup. It was an impressive inning. The Machado Tatis homers were impressive. Off a good pitcher in Sonny Gray. They did 7 runs, to your point, off Sonny Gray in 5 innings, who wins the game, allowing 7 runs. So it was fun to watch. And they did. It was worthy of watching for 9 innings. It was a game. It would have been stupid to turn it off. They made it interesting. It was a compelling game. But end of the day, 59 games to play, they're not playing well. And it's now getting down to the win-loss time of year. There's time, but it's getting to the win-loss time of year over the hey, Tatis homered. They got to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we are entering the part of the season where it's only about results. Like
we're getting really close.
Like it is only about results coming up here, pretty soon. Like I don't care about guys hitting the ball hard, but they're getting out. It's like, oh man, they're hitting the ball really hard. What's the result? Is it an over or is it a hit? Is it a win or is it a loss? Right? Too many times in baseball, it's like, oh man, this guy's actually having a really good season. His underlining numbers are really good. I'm like, all right, what's his OPS? It's not that great. It's like 715. But man, his underlining numbers, woof. If you just got a little lucky, it'd be great.
Right.
That I'm sure that's what they're going to put on the back of a baseball card. If he just got a little luckier, he would have been great. Like, no, the dude's OPS is 700, or the dude's OPS is 680, or the pitcher's ERA is 4.58, or the reliever's ERA is 4 point whatever. Like, at the end of the day, baseball has gotten away from the results at times mattering. It's more like, well, the underlying numbers, man, dude, these advanced analytics are really good. He's not getting the results he's looking for, but man, their advanced analytics are great. Like some guy last night tried to tell me that Fernando Tatis Jr. on social media, he's like, Fernando's expected slugging percentage this year is like 520. I'm like,
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and our expected ratings, I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, expected what? His numbers are what his numbers are. Don't give me this expected bullshit. I hate
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
I hate that part about
And that's
baseball.
why I give Randy Vasquez credit, because he's the opposite of it. I'd rather the
Right.
results guy than the advanced analytics guy. Like, you look at Vasquez's baseball savant, it's all blue, yet he produces, and he's given the Padres record with Randy Vasquez in a game is outstanding. So I'm going to trust in that. If that happens to hold true all year long, I don't care what his baseball savant page looks like. He has given the Padres chances to win more often than not. So
100%.
it starts and ends there with me. And I will here again, I'll stick to this, is that Nick Pivetta tomorrow has been awesome for this team. And you got to win with Nick Pivetta on the mound. And they do a lot. And it's Miles Mikolas, and the Padres are going to be favored tomorrow. They got to win that game tomorrow. You don't want to give the Cardinals life right now by allowing St. Louis to win this series. That's a factor in the grand scheme. You got to find a way to split here in St. Louis. Wifty sent, kind of like 50 Cent. Thank you for the very generous super. It says, thanks for all the content and breakdowns, dudes. Appreciate you, man. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you for the very generous super chat. Tell your friends about the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Consider a super chat like Wifty Cent. We appreciate you guys. Click that $sign below the chat box. JD's third says, can't get swept by the Cardinals. They will become buyers. I don't. Again, I'm not forecasting the Padres getting swept by the Cardinals based on tonight. But yeah, they would be buyers, the Cardinals. Every few years, a team comes out of left field and goes on an insane run like the Nationals did. Shoot, the Cardinals did that the year the Padres collapsed in 2021. So, yeah, you can't get swept by anyone. It's not can't get swept by the Cardinals. It's can't get swept is what. But of course, you can't get swept in a 4-game series. Of course not. That's a disaster result.
My guess is they won't get swept.
I agree. I don't think they will either. I think they're better than that, but they're testing my patience and my luck with 3 straight losses to the Marlins and the Cardinals. You know,
this always happens when you lose the first game of a series. You're like, oh, they're gonna get swept. Can't get
and
swept.
Like,
yeah, they're not gonna get swept, guys. They're not.
No, I don't think so either. Tomorrow's
I said that. Watch, they get swept.
No, but tomorrow's a big one because with Pivetta, that's the one you got to get.
Right. It's it's win day tomorrow.
Yeah, you lose tomorrow, and you got real. As much as we're going to be critical tonight, and as much as we're going to talk about the deadline and the position that they're in, it's nothing. It's not the same as if they lose tomorrow for me. Because behind Pivetta, you got to win. I'll change my tune and go probably further in if they lose tomorrow with Nick Pivetta on the mound. But again, I mean, they're more than capable of winning tomorrow with Pivetta. So it's a good, bad, ugly game is what it is. Good offense. Ugly Darvish. Bad 3-game losing streak. I mean, it's good, bad, ugly. The offense is good. It should be celebrated to some extent. We need to see more of it. The Darvish, dude, I don't even know. Like, you start him in 5 days, Jim? It's just, tough one.
Do you
see
not?
In 5 days. I don't know.
I mean,
got a 9.2 ERA in 4 starts. Is he giving you a chance to win?
What are you going to do? Just not pitch him?
I don't know.
I think you got to just, hey, man, if he's healthy, you're pitching, bro.
Just die with him out there. He can't have a 9 ERA.
His next scheduled start is when? At home versus the Mets?
Yeah.
Okay. If he shits the bed at home versus the Mets, then it's like, okay, they should maybe move off of Darvish here. I'll give him one more start.
Okay. Yeah. I
at
agree.
Home. It's not 150 degrees. Okay. And now he'd be facing a good team in the Mets.
Yep.
But give me next start. If he pitches well, then I'll chalk this up as just a one-off. It was super hot. Whatever. But also has to be healthy. You have to make sure he's feeling good leading up to his next start. And if he does make his next start against the Mets at home and he does pitches semi-well, like say he goes, I think for Darvish, a good start right now is like 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs. Like you could, would you take that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if he goes out and does that against the Mets, 5 1/3, which would be one of the longest starts of his season. 5 1/3.
Yeah, as long as
3 earned runs.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, so
This
I'll give him
is
one more start.
this is Darvish postgame. I should be better. They've given me 4 games to come back, and I've been doing this long enough, 21 years. So there's not much excuse that I can make. Bottom line, I should be better than that. I
I
give him
agree with you.
credit
Yeah.
for talking and not making an excuse. How can you excuse it?
Right.
It's just very disappointing against, again, a Cardinals team that I think they put up on the screen today, 5-13 in their last 18 games, losing series to the Colorado Rockies. This isn't the best version of the Cardinals. Dylan Yee, thank you. He says, has second half shield kicked in yet? Soon. I don't know what the record is since the 81 game mark, but I know that they're 3-4 since the All-Star break. And then JD's third following up by saying second half shield meet odd year Padres. Who wins? That's funny, and that's interesting. Yeah, you're right. I mean, are the Padres going to be an odd year Padres team and fizzle out, or is Mike Schilt going to find a way to get another team that he manages to the postseason? It's like a choose your own adventure book. I could make a case either way. They're going to make the postseason or they're going to miss out. I think both are easy arguments to make right now.
Yeah, but they're still, season ended today. Guess what? They're in the postseason. So,
maybe unfortunately it doesn't.
I know. Unfortunately, it does not.
Yeah. But, I mean, listen, Tatis having 3 hits and homering is a positive. Jackson Merrill showing signs of life for 3 consecutive games. Remember, doubles in Miami, back-to-back games. Part of that rally in the 9th that came up empty when he was at second with nobody out. So Merrill coming to life. I mean, Machado's been a constant, obviously, all year long. So I don't know. I mean, that's the best part of this. Maybe Merrill is going to be that second half player we saw a year ago. He's been better, Jim, the last 3 or 4 games. And even going back to before the All-Star break, he hit the 2 home runs in one game on that Saturday. So if we looked at his last 10 games, I bet Jackson Merrill's been pretty decent. They got to get more of that moving forward.
And he had a hot August last year.
Right.
Hot August.
Very hot.
Very hot. While I was in Switzerland. How was that? That was last year. I was in Switzerland. Holy shit. It? Felt like longer ago. Man. Yeah. Last year. When I was in Switzerland, that was when Jackson Merrill just took off. I mean, all those game time home runs he had. Incredible.
Maybe you should go to Switzerland.
Okay. Just on a whim. Hey, by the way, I'm going to Switzerland next week, so
right.
That would not work out.
All right, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance is our title sponsor. If you are here, again, please subscribe. And if you're here, thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. We want to thank our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. He's been with us since day one on the wrap-up show. And if you have an insurance need, trust us. He will take care of you. I've had insurance through Mark for the last 4 years. I've got a homeowner's, earthquake, and life insurance policy. So if you have any insurance need, auto, home, renter's life, earthquake, whatever it is, get in contact with Mark Nimitz by clicking the link in the description down below. You can get free quotes online. Get free quotes by calling Mark. He'll talk to you about saving money on your insurance. He'll talk to you about the Padres. He's a lifelong Padres fan. He's a native San Diegan. He's got great service and communication. If you ever need him, trust me, he will be there for you. So if you have an insurance need before you renew, get in contact with our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance.
And all his information is on that ticker below, mnimitz at farmersagent.com. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
It was Mike Schill postgame that says, I'm really pleased with the whole game. Okay. Took great at bats. I mean, the top 5 guys were really, really good. We were able to get 7 runs. We just weren't able to hold them under. That was Mike Schill post game, who seems to dig in often when his team is mired in a team slump, like a 3 or 4 or 5 game losing streak, is when he makes some bold proclamations like, trust me, we'll figure it out. We're going to be fine. I've never had more faith in this team. And it's worked. It is 2 years here. We'll see if it continues to work or not.
You know how I had that rant earlier in the show about like the results and all that stuff. Mike Schild is the opposite. He is like, oh man, these numbers look really good. I believe that you're going to be better. Like the results sometimes to him don't matter. Like the wins and losses, obviously those matter the most. And yes, if they continue to lose, it's gonna be a problem. But like for him, when he watches, I feel like with him, he looks at those numbers and he's like, oh yeah, his advanced analytics look really good. Like, oh man, yeah, he's been, and the guy just went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. It's like, yeah, really good night. His hard hit ball. He was hitting the ball hard, and yeah, I liked what he did tonight. And yet the guy was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Like, that's who Mike Schilt is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he backs his team, man. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, back in St. Louis, obviously, where it all started for Mike Schilt. And I mean, here's the deal. Today, in addition to the loss, there's all these rumblings, right? Dylan Cease, John Heyman listing 6 teams, at least 6 teams that have inquired. Then you've got, you have a lot. I mean, you have Josh Naylor being moved. You have the first significant move of the trade deadline season. I mean, that is a sizable move as Seattle, kind of bolsters their lineup. And it's a sign, obviously, that unless Arizona is selling and buying, it's very likely they're just selling as they fall off, right? Eugenio Suarez at some point is going to be dealt here over the next 7 days. So we're now in the season. We predicted this. There'd be that first sizable move, likely over the weekend. And now we're pushing into that weekend. And I forget who said it today, Morosi or Sherman, that said, Dylan Cease could be moved in the coming days or in the next day or 2 or 3 or whatever you said. So expect anything now. I mean, absolutely. We're now at the point, because I've held off on this. You've heard me say this. I've held off on the idea that AJ Preller was making a move in early July or mid-July or July 20th. We are now at the point where I am expecting AJ Preller to strike. I don't have to wait for July 31st now on Preller. He absolutely could make a move at some point here moving forward, today, tomorrow, the next day, as it relates to Dylan Cease or otherwise. Is like the season's in full swing right now, I would say.
Yeah, the stove is lit. It is. We have reached trade deadline season, and we have reached any moment something could happen. Nothing is like, oh, it's too early, or
right.
Nope. We have a sizable trade already. The Diamondbacks have said we are selling. They have committed to a direction. They are selling at the deadline. Seattle is obviously a buyer. They got Josh Naylor, but any time something could happen, and it would not be a surprise.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. So I mean, I don't, I don't know what's going to happen first for AJ Preller. Like, is it all going to happen at once? That you move a big league piece to then acquire a big league piece? Are people going to overreact to, oh my gosh, Dylan Cease has been traded, they're selling? But then 12 hours later, they, make the move to bolster their big league lineup. Same thing with Jay Cronenworth. Oh my gosh, they traded Jay Cronenworth, they must be selling. I stick by what we've all been saying. I do not think they are selling. I do think ultimately they are a buyer. I'm not fully convinced and you made the point earlier today too, like the term all in is tough. But they are all in. They have Manny Machado. They have Fernando Tatis Jr. They've spent $1 zillion. They're buyers for me. The question is, what does it look like? We've seen deadlines where they're like hedge fake buyers, and we've seen others where they're like Juan Soto buyers. This year, probably in between, somewhere between a fake buying team and a Juan Soto buying team. But yeah, they're not selling. They're buying. The question is, to what degree?
Right. And how crazy is this trade deadline going to get? Like how for the Padres at least. And what's that first move that AJ is like, okay, I need to make this move first before I make these other moves? Like, what is that?
Right.
Because they're not just going to add payroll. Because what if they added players and added payroll, but they couldn't trade away? Well, I mean, they could, but they couldn't trade away the players they have on this roster that are making money that they needed to get rid of for what they want. They're not just going to trade them for a bag of chips. They're going to trade these players for, the right deals. AJ Preller is not going to make a trade to make a trade, even though he hasn't been known in the past to just say, fuck it, I'll overpay. I don't care. Like, just make the deal. Right. But trading away a player, rarely do you see him trade away a player that's on his roster or in his organization that, he doesn't get close to what he wants for that player.
Right. Yeah. And in terms of like the untouchables, you and I feel the same way, which is like the one true untouchable is Leo DeVries. Outside of that,
Yeah.
there's a lot of pieces that you'd consider moving. I'm sure there's some that you'd prefer to move more than others in your system. If you're Preller, that's his job and the scout's job to determine who should and should not be moved within his system. But I think ultimately there's one player that is untouchable within his system, truly untouchable, and his name is Leo DeVries. And then even at the major league roster, you're probably much less likely to move DeVries than you are guys like, again, that we've talked about, Suarez, Cronenworth, Arise, Cease. So I see one true untouchable. I don't know the system like the back of my hand. I really don't. But to me, it's Leo DeVries is the one guy I'm not moving if I'm AJ Preller. And then if I need to move someone else, even if it hurts a little bit, I'm at least going to give it a long, hard look or consideration.
Yeah, he's given everything a consideration, like everything is on the table. He hasn't, I feel like he hasn't talked about, there's nothing he's not talked about and gone over and discussed. And then now we're just waiting. All right, when's the day they're like, all right, this is the decision I'm making. Yeah. Right? Because that day is going to come. It's going to come next Wednesday. It's going to come over the weekend. I would appreciate it if it didn't come over the weekend, just for personal reasons. But when's it gonna happen? Right? It can happen any moment. We know AJ. Who do you think is going to be the first person to report on it? That there's been a move.
Someone nationally.
Think so? You don't think Dennis or Kevin?
It very rarely is.
True.
It very rarely is. I think typically it's Ken Rosenthal. He gets it wrong. Right. Or Jeff Passan, Mm-hmm. But, and it might be over the weekend, by the way, as well. Like Jay Farrell says, why is Leo untouchable? It kind of speaks for itself, right? It speaks for itself, his numbers, his status, his future, his age, his success. He's not blocked. That's the other thing. There's no one blocking him at all. And that includes Xander Bogaerts. You can move Xander Bogaerts. I'm saying from a position. So he's not blocked. When he's ready, he's ready. Like he's not going to be blocked when he's ready. I promise you that. But he has to be ready. The thing with having a number one prospect, that doesn't mean they should be in the major leagues. Make no mistake. He can be their top prospect and not be ready. Nobody's advocating for him to be up right now. I mean, literally, no one is advocating for that. But he might break through in 2026, and you don't want to block that if he's capable of helping you at the big league level. Look at Jackson Merrill 2 years ago. So no, he's not being blocked, and he's 18 years of age and has succeeded at a high clip in the minor leagues. And it speaks for itself. Leo DeVries, if his ceiling is hit, is going to be a successful player at the major league level. Has things obviously to do for that to happen, but I'm willing to bet on Leo DeVries, and I think the Padres organization probably feels the same way.
And it's always one of those things too, like Leo DeVries, you would think could get you a good amount back, right? In a trade. Like if you added Leo DeVries to a trade. Absolutely. Okay. So if you're not trading him, like you need that guy to be good. Because if he's not good, then you're sitting there and be like, we could have traded this guy 2 years ago.
Could have gotten a lot.
And could have got a lot for him. And now he freaking sucks. Or he's not good. Or we didn't think he's not the guy who we thought he was at the big league level. And that's always the risk that you run in the moment, because you're like, man, maybe if we made that deal 2 years ago or 3 years ago, maybe we would have won a World Series. And now we have to sit here and try to get this guy, whoever the top prospect is, to like will him into being good. And then if he's not good, then you're going to be selling him low. And it's happened with this organization before, by the way. We're like, oh, we're not trading this player. And then he comes up and he's not good, and you trade him away for like literally nothing when you could have traded him for something 3 years ago. Luis Arias.
I would say this: if you traded Leo DeVries in the next 7 days, in my opinion, you look desperate as hell.
For sure, I agree.
Now it doesn't mean it's not the right decision. To your point, there's no guarantee on DeVries. There's no guarantee on anyone, but I just think it would reek of desperation if somehow Leo DeVries is part of a package for a player. I would be very critical of that decision. I guess maybe depending on who they landed, but it seems like that would be unwise if you were the Padres. I don't expect it at all. JD Gatcher, thank you, man, for the super chat. He says Michael McGreevy to start Sunday for the Cardinals. They're high on him. I hope he sticks. I don't know anything about him.
I've never heard of that player before.
But I hope the Padres hit him.
Michael McGreevy?
Yeah.
Sounds like Michael McDreamy or something.
Yeah, I hope they hit him, is what I would say from a Padres perspective. All right, let's get back to the conversation in a moment. I want to remind you about our friends over at SeatGeek. They've got a terrific offer for you going on right now. This is for our viewers. Use the promo code PADSWRAP by clicking that link in the description down below and get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek. That's your first order of $50 or more. You're getting $20 off your first purchase with promo code PADSWRAP. Click that link in the description down below. Download the app. Have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. We do want to thank our friends over at SeatGeek. Of course, the Padres heading back home. The Mets will be here, and you can get in to Petco Park with our friends at SeatGeek. And again, you can get $20 off your first purchase of $50 or more. Just use that promo code PADSWRAP, and you can get in when the Padres get back home Tuesday night for $54, including fees. So take advantage of that offer. Get to Petco Park this upcoming week and use that promo code.
Yeah, SeatGeek is MLB's official ticket marketplace. So at checkout, your tickets are instantly downloadable, instantly fulfilled. Just make sure you use our promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP, to get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. And by the way, when you're looking for tickets, red means good, or sorry, green means good, long day. Green means good, red means bad. So look for the green dots. They tell you that they're good deals. Red, stay away from those. As John pulled up here, that's an amazing deal at Petco Park. I don't know the price on it, but if you get those tickets, make sure you see red there, right? Yeah, red. You see like the red dots. You see the green dots.
I do.
Look for the green dots and use our promo code PADSWRAP, PADSWRAP.
All right, good stuff. Again, if you're here, subscribe. You're on content for Padres fans. Smash the like button for us. And you can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. Padres have lost 3 straight. Lost the final 2 in Miami. They lose game 1 in St. Louis. They will turn to Nick Pivetta. He has been a stopper. They will need him once again to be that guy come tomorrow. And I think you take 5-5. We said to start the road trip, 5-5 is acceptable. We didn't say, hey, you go 5-5, your season's over. I don't recall that conversation. Now they have work to do to get to 5-5. They got to win 2 of the next 3 games. They're fine at 5-5. Certainly the wheels haven't fallen off at 4-6, truthfully. Okay? So you got to sometimes like widen the aperture. 7 games over 500, 59 games to play. 1 game up on a playoff spot, potential improvements coming within the next 7 days. Nothing's been determined as of yet. You just don't want the wheels to fall off. You don't want to lose 4 consecutive games in St. Louis or 6 consecutive games overall. But you widen it out, you go 5-5 here. We said it before the trip. We're like 5-5 is an acceptable result for this road trip, and that's very much a possibility coming out of this weekend.
I would take 5-5 right now, like in a second.
Well, yeah, that's 2-1. So 100% with you on that.
I would have even taken 5-5 coming out of the break. I like go 5-5 and take 2 or 3 from the Mets at home. You're 9 games over 500. And last year, at the deadline, they were 8 games over 500.
Yeah, the concern remains this. I mean, we've talked about it a lot, and it changes every day. These teams go over or under. Like the idea that, hey, you got to get to the postseason. Once you get there, you got a chance to win. Is this a concern that you're playing .333 baseball against good teams this year? Yeah, I think it's a concern.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not great. But what are you going to do? Not play for the postseason because you haven't been good against good teams? I mean, things can change.
Mm-hmm. And
that alone isn't the reason to be like, well, season's over.
Right. And they know. They had a meeting before the Phillies series. Like, we got to play better against good teams. And they took 2 or 3 from the Phillies. So it's like they know they need to be better against good teams, or at least teams over 500. Right. So they know that is just like, can they do it is the question. And if they continue to beat up on bad teams, then you don't need to play well against all good teams all the time until you get to the postseason where you're going to face a good team. But as long as you take care of business versus the bad teams, and I know they didn't take care of business against the Marlins, but Marlins were on a sneaky run that kind of caught the Padres off guard there, and every game was close. I mean, could have gone either way, but it didn't. And all that matters is the wins and losses. So, go 2-1 over the next 3 days, and a 5-5 road trip. Coming home, 8 games over 500, probably still in a playoff spot. Feel pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think I disagree. I don't. Man, he's just kind of disappointing. I understand it through that. I don't think 5-5 is disappointing. I don't on a road trip. Like
a 10-game road trip is difficult, guys.
It's difficult. I mean, I don't think it's great. I'm not
right.
putting up a pennant.
No,
but you say, well, against these teams too. I mean, yes, the Cardinals have come back to earth and haven't played well. True, but they are over 500. And to Jim's point, Miami's 18-8 in their last 26 games. Okay, overall they're under 500, but you can never look at 5-5 and be like, "Oh my gosh, what a disaster." I mean, it doesn't. I don't think that's an accurate way to look at it. If they went 3-7, I could say it's a disaster. And if you say they went 4-6, you could say that's disappointing. They should have gone 500 or better on the trip. I mean, I think they're under 500 this year on the road. So, 5-5 trip isn't killing you. I mean, and it's not typical that you're making up all the ground on the road. You're not thinking about a 10-game roadie and like, hey, let's go 9-1 here and secure our playoff spot. They happened to do it last year. And how many times have we said last year's last year, this year's this year? And 43-19 ain't happening. And it's not. So they're going to have to get there a different way than last year. And I think going 5-5 out of the All-Star break is acceptable. You may not love it, but in the long view, in the long game, they can get to the postseason going 5-5 here. Trust me.
They've turned into a good, not turned in, but I mean, 31-18 is a good home record.
Okay. Yep.
And 24-30 on the road. Yeah, got to change that. Like you look at the Phillies. The Phillies are 33-19 at home, comparable to the Padres. The thing is, and they're 3.5 games up on the Padres record wise. They're 500 on the road. You go 42-40 on the road, and you play. What's their winning percentage at home, John?
I don't know. What's the record?
31-18.
31-19 is 620. So better than 620. 630.
Yeah, you play 2 games over 500 on the road, 42-40, and play 620 ball at home. More often than not, you're a playoff team.
I always do remind. I will say this: they were 11-0 at home, right?
Yeah.
It's like, again, we're so far removed from all this work.
20-18 right?
Yeah. So it's like, yes, your statement is true, but the 11-0 at home team is like you said, it's like as far away as your freaking honeymoon. It feels like a long time ago. So it's like we got to see it through like weird prisms. Like, hey, they're this, they're that. Nah, are they? It's like it's been so long that they've been so average or below average. User on Node, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Maybe the first super here. Please subscribe. He says, what do you think of Mackenzie Gore coming back? We touched on this on the On Fryer podcast. If they're listening, then maybe AJ Preller is calling, and their new GM said he would listen. It wasn't his ultimate goal to move Mackenzie Gore. Why would you move him? 2 more years of control beyond this one. I don't know if they'll keep him or not. My guess is no long term. But what do you think of Gore coming back? I'd love to add an all-star caliber pitcher to a rotation that has everyone out or ineffective other than Nick Pivetta.
It'll never happen. Would you trade DeVries for Gore?
I'm not trading. I'm not trading DeVries, right? Like at some point you put your foot down.
That would be the weirdest, like Inception, like what? Of all time.
That'd be crazy.
That would be wild.
He came back. Be crazy.
Not happening though.
I don't see it. What's this I see in the chat? Is Hector Gomez tweeting anything tonight? Not that he was right this weekend.
I did see it. I'm not going to pay attention to it because he completely butchered the freaking or Marcelo Zuna or whatever his name is. Yeah.
So what's his report? Just tell me what it is.
The Padres have called on Sandy Alcantara.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine.
Or the Padres have called on Sandy Alcantara.
Alcantara. according to John Morosi.
It's his name, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine calling on. Listen, I'm intrigued. Some of the creative names I'm intrigued by. Alcantara, Adam, okay. He's controllable for next year. Luis Robert Jr., okay. He's play better. Like I'm not opposed to Sandy Alcantara. Well, Jim might be, though. He's so opposed that he left. I'm not opposed to Sandy. I'm not opposed to Luis Robert Jr. I like some of the upside names. And there's only upside with Alcantara. You were so mad at Sandy's name, you're like, I'm out.
I'm done.
But I was saying I don't mind Sandy. I mean, you're buying low. And I don't mind Luis Robert Jr. Some of these names I like, and some of them I don't like. You do the deeper dive on Marcell Ozuna, I don't like it. I do a deeper dive on Sandy Alcantara, and I'm thinking about 2026. I like it more. I do a deeper dive on Luis Robert Jr. He's played better recently. I like it more. So I'm all for Sandy Alcantara, honestly. I mean, I think I said a week ago I wasn't, and now I'm like, well, I'm thinking about 2026 too.
Right. No, I just am so curious to see what he does, man.
This is always kind of the worst time because we talk about it obsessively and nothing happens until July 29th.
I know.
And now that's still 5 days away.
Right.
And July 30th is 6 days away. And there's a world where he doesn't do anything until July 29th or July 30th. Yet we're going to talk about it for another 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hear John Morosi and Joel Sherman and Jeff Passan. But right. I'm with you, man. I'm intrigued. I really am. I'm super intrigued. But wasn't it Preller dude on MLB Network Radio? I wish I had the audio in front of me right now. Didn't he say the team tells you?
Yep.
The team.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, the team isn't telling me what I want to be told if I'm AJ Preller.
Well, that's the thing is, whatever moves he makes at the deadline will tell all of us what he truly thinks of this team.
That's right.
If he goes out and makes moves like he did in the 2023 season, Rich Hill, Garrett Cooper, G-Man Choi, he doesn't believe in this team.
So sad.
He doesn't believe in this team if he does that. He goes out and trades for the best relievers on the market and for hell or high water gets those players no matter what. He believes in them. Goes and trades for Juan Soto. He believes in him. Trades for Jake Marisnick. Doesn't believe in him. So whatever move he makes at the deadline or moves he makes at the deadline will let all of us know how he feels about this team.
Completely, man. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's kind of my point. But I'm just, yeah, exactly. The point is, though, it was on the team to put Preller in his position.
Yeah,
he can only act from where they are. Now, you could argue maybe he should have done something sooner, but it's like, I don't know. I honestly, I don't think it's an overly compelling point to be like, you should have addressed your bench sooner. I mean, okay. And then what? Right. Are they really better if they don't have Trenton Brooks here? Are they really better? Maybe. He's 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position, so maybe.
Yeah, not good.
But I think that it's basically on the team to say, how good are you? And then it's on Preller to upgrade his team or whatever. So we'll see. We're going to see. We're going to see in the days ahead. Do want to remind you about our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Listen, if you're not playing at Underdog, you should be. You got to make sure to use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. You're going to get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 and a free gimme pick as well. So make sure to use that promo code PADSWRAP. Couldn't be simpler or easier to win. Simple higher or lower contesting. You can play across all sports. That would include right now the WNBA, for example, as well as Major League Baseball. And it's simple and it's easy. Higher or lower than 2.5 earned runs. Higher or lower than a half home run for Fernando Tatis Jr. If these 4 things happen tomorrow, your $10 wager pays $268. Even if you get one wrong, you can still win big at Underdog. So use the promo code. Click the link in the description down below. Again, the promo code is PADSWRAP. Get the 50% deposit match. Get the free gimme pick as well, and play along with our friends at Underdog Fantasy.
Yeah, the QR code is above my head right here. Scan that QR code. Download the Underdog Fantasy app. Use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, to start playing today.
All right, join us tomorrow. Kevin AC will be on John and Jim on Friday afternoon. We will get you ready for a mid-afternoon tilt. I think 4:15 is the start time. So join us beginning at 2 p.m. We'll catch up with Kevin AC, the latest on the deadline, and the Padres, who have now lost 3 straight. What comes next for AJ Preller? What comes next for you, Darvish? And can the Padres behind Nick Pivetta even up this 4-game series at a game apiece? So join us tomorrow, too, and then join us tomorrow night for a wrap-up show as we inch towards the deadline. We're going to be your deadline home, so subscribe to this channel. Year-round content for you, including at the deadline. If there is any breaking news, we will have it for you here on the wrap-up show. Please subscribe. Please smash the like button for us. Please follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We appreciate the super thanks for those of you that are here on replay. And until tomorrow at 2 p.m. for Jim, I'm John. This has been the wrap-up show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.